Hi guys, so this week was supposed to be a great week. I was supposed to go to the beach with my golden retriever Reggie, and then we were supposed to continue our journey to visit a historical city in Malaysia where we were meant to see the sights, take photos, and enjoy the good food. But instead, this happened. So now I'm left with a sick doggy who's recovering and a hefty bill from the vet. So what happened? So on Monday, I packed our bags and we headed out. And I'm based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and we were supposed to go to another city in a state down south called Malacca. And we were meant to go to Malacca City, which is a historical city, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So the journey from Kuala Lumpur to Malacca takes about 2 hours. And on the way, we decided to stop by another city called Port Dickson because I was told that there is a really nice beach. And aside from eating, there's nothing more that he loves than going to the beach. The name of the beach is called the Blue Lagoon. And when I brought Reggie there, it was so nice. And we went on a Monday morning, so the beach was practically empty except for maybe 2 families that were there. I was playing fetch with Reggie, he was digging in the sand, I enjoyed just being there. And the 2 families that were there were actually really friendly, so they came up to us and they were playing with Reggie. It was a really nice morning. After chilling at the beach for 2 hours, we decided to continue our journey from Port Dickson to Malacca. We got there a little after lunch. We checked into our pet-friendly hotel. It was an old UNESCO heritage building which they converted to be a homestay. It was lovely. So we walked around the historical city. I grabbed some lunch, and there's a river running through the city which we walked along. It was a really nice evening. At 4 o'clock, we went back to the hotel and we were chilling. And then all of a sudden, Reggie started puking. And when I looked at his puke, I was completely shocked. I saw bits of sand, I saw some seaweed, and I saw bits of tree branches. I obviously saw Reggie chewing on branches, and then I pulled it out of his mouth. But I guess it was too late and he probably ingested some bits of it. For any of you that have golden retrievers, you know that they are very food motivated and they would put almost anything in their mouth. Reggie has obviously eaten things that he shouldn't previously. And all those times when it happened, he would puke out the foreign object and then he'll be fine. So when Reggie puked out all the crap, I cleaned it up and I thought that he was gonna be fine. Okay, so this happened at 4 o'clock and he was okay. Around 6 o'clock, I fed him dinner, which was his kibble and some bone broth. And then he was still okay. And then at 7 o'clock, Reggie started puking again. And then he puked out everything that he ate for dinner. So I cleaned it up and then I gave him some water to drink. An hour later, Reggie puked out all the water that he drank. And then it didn't stop there. From there on, Reggie was puking and puking and puking almost every half an hour to 45 minutes. And it came to the point where Reggie puked so much that he had nothing left to puke except bile. And by that time, I was legit freaked out. I was in a city that I was not familiar with, and I was doing Google research. Are there any 24-hour vets that I can bring Reggie to? Malacca is a smaller town compared to the capital of Kuala Lumpur. And when I was doing my research, I could not find any other 24-hour vets. My heart was breaking because Reggie, he looked really, really bad. So then in that moment, I can't stand it. I decided to make the trip from Malacca all the way to Kuala Lumpur so that I can bring him to a 24-hour emergency vet in Kuala Lumpur and get him checked as soon as possible because I was freaked out, right? What if it's poison? So I packed my bags and we left. And by the time we left, it was already 11 at night. During the car ride, he stopped puking. Reggie actually looked okay and he was calmer. And when we got to Kuala Lumpur, Reggie rushed to the garden and then he pooped. But then it wasn't poop, it was diarrhea and it was complete water. It was psh. And then after that, I was observing Reggie and he did seem, hey baby. I wonder if he knows that I'm talking about him. He probably does. I was observing Reggie, and he did seem a lot better after puking and after the diarrhea. And just for context, the 24-hour emergency hospital that I wanted to bring Reggie to is not Reggie's regular hospital. Since Reggie looked better and more settled down, I made the decision that it's better for me to wait until morning so that I could bring him to his usual vet and see his usual doctor, which knows his medical history, has all the records, is familiar with Reggie. And yeah, but that night I didn't get that much sleep because I was still really worried about Reggie. So every time when I heard a sound, I would look at him. But he did okay. So the next morning, I brought Reggie to the vet as soon as it opened, and I explained what happened to the doctor, and we decided to do the full comprehensive test to x-ray him to see whether there are any foreign objects left in his stomach, to also do a blood test. So then his doctor was like, let's do a pancreatic exam just to make sure that that is okay as well. So the whole works, and the doctors were amazing. They made it as comfortable as possible for Reggie. And then when we got the results back, it was triple whammy. In the first x-ray that you see here, it looks like there's like some fluffy white stuff in his stomach, and the doctors are not sure what that is. So then they decided to give him some laxative so that he would just puke it out. That's one. And secondly, in the x-ray, they noticed that Reggie had some lung infections. A healthy lung is meant to be all black, but you can see that there are like all these white color veins, which indicates that, yeah, his lung is infected. So they diagnosed that he may have bronchitis. They decided to put Reggie on a dose of antibiotics to clear it. They also decided to take an x-ray of his hips because Reggie has hip dysplasia. And I suppose it's just good practice to do x-rays of his hips every year just to see the condition, to make sure that it hasn't deteriorated, right? And they found out that his hips are not great either. So it was like a triple whammy. He had like his stomach issues, he had his lung issues, and then like he also had hip issues. So Reggie is already taking glucosamine every day to deal with his hip dysplasia. So after seeing the x-rays, the doctor advised for us to add calcium to Reggie's diet, which we are going to start doing. And since Reggie was dehydrated, they decided to give Reggie an IV, which I was actually quite amazed when I saw that because I never knew that dogs could get an IV the same way as humans do. We went home, and this was on a Tuesday, so that was like 2 days ago. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, Reggie didn't poop. So this morning when my husband brought Reggie for his walk, according to my husband, Reggie took a giant poop. If you're a dog owner and if you ever had a dog that was sick, right? I think the most happiest thing for every dog owner is to see your dog poop solid poop after being sick for 2 days. So Reggie pooped solid poop, and it was like a huge ass poop, and like I could not have been happier. So suffice to say that Reggie is better. This morning he was playing with my husband, and that made me feel so happy. So my takeaway is that even if your dog is like the goodest dog ever, you know, who's very well trained, don't ever take that for granted. Don't ever be complacent, because the beach was really, really clean. So I think I let my guard down. And then when I had like, you know, other people on the beach that came up to me and we started chatting, that was maybe when he was eating the seaweed and like chewing on like the tree branches, you know, which I didn't see. And that's completely on me. So the second takeaway is that I think it's good practice to do annual checkups on your dogs. And if your dog has hip dysplasia like my dog does, it doesn't hurt to do an x-ray every year to see the condition of the hip dysplasia so that you can maintain the health of his hips and that your dog will be healthy and happy for many years to come. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. So I am a mom and dog travel influencer. On this channel, I want to share stories and behind the scenes of what it's actually like to be a pet influencer, share bits about my life, how much I'm making doing my pet influencing, share tips and strategies about digital marketing. So if any of this is interesting to you, I really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe. And yeah, see you next week. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.